Hi, good morning, boys and girls. How are you today? Yeah, it's Monday. It's time for me to read you another story. And have you noticed I'm not in the same room? I'm in a different room where I keep a lot of my favorite books. Look at right behind me. You see the bookshelf? Well, that's where I get my books. And sometimes I read my favorite ones over and over again because it's so good. But I'm going to be reading a story to you today from this room, another part of the house. But before we do that, because the story has to do with some of the stuff we hear that's happening in Oakland. Hey, do you guys remember a while back in school? I was telling you guys the story about this really cool black guy. His name is Dr. Martin Luther King. Do you remember? And how he was thinking, wow, I want to play with my white friends. And then the white friend's family says, no, I want to play in a white playground. But then the playground says for white kids only. And there were a whole bunch of unfair laws at the time that said, if you're black, you do it here. If you're white, you do it here. And Martin Luther King didn't like any of those ideas. He thought, why? I want to play with everybody. How come I have to be treated different? So he decided to change some of those laws, remember? And there were protests and stuff like that, and he would march. And anyway, he got the chance to change a lot of the bad laws into good laws. And we just love it because he's such a special man that when we want to remember him, remember? So that whenever it's his birthday, we have a holiday. We don't go to school. When it's my birthday, we still go to school. But when it's Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, we don't have to go to school because his ideas were so good about getting along. Well, you probably know that maybe lately there's a lot of noise in Oakland. There's a lot of people walking around and marching and protesting because they were not happy about something that happened. That there were some white people who hurted black people, and then now everybody is upset. It's like, we don't like it. Just like Martin Luther King said, we don't like it. We want people to treat each other fair, not because oh, if you're black or if your skin color is darker, we're going to treat you differently. We're not going to do that. So these people have been protesting in Oakland to tell them, hey, let's not do it. Let's change our laws. We want to be nice to everybody and treat everybody fair. So you probably maybe seen some pictures on TV about some of the protests. But some of the people at the protests, they weren't acting very nice, huh? And then there were some who were acting really good. But today I found a book. It's called Sing a Song. And it's about this little black girl and how she learned the song. And the song that she learned is exactly what Martin Luther King was talking about. It's about, hey, let's get along. Can I read it to you? Listen, okay? Sing a song. Before you were born, a girl learned a song. Her principal had wrote this song because they were celebrating President Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And everybody loved that president. And that girl wanted to make the principal proud. So she tried to learn that song. And she hummed the song when she's walking home from school. She practiced singing the song when she's helping Mama out in the kitchen. Oh, look at Mama. Smells good. And this little girl just kept singing and singing until she was ready. And one day she joined a large choir group of people who were all singing together. 500 people were singing that same song together because they loved the song so much. The song talks about lift your voice and sing. Let everybody hear. Tell them it's nice to be free. It's nice to be treated right. And that's what all the kids were singing. What a good idea of a song. I want to learn a song like that. Well, that little girl grew up. She kept on singing. She even sang when she got married and she taught the song to her husband. And they were moving from Florida to Pennsylvania and she still sang on the bus. And then when she had a baby boy, she sang to the baby boy because she wanted to make sure her family and her kids would know the lesson of the song. Treat people right. And this little baby boy grew up and he would always listen to Mama sing when she's working like a teacher. And he would always hear Papa sing when he comes home from work. So he knows the song. Oh, now he gets to sing at the church with his mouth wide open and his hand over his heart because he knows it's important. And he became part of the choir when he grew up to be a man. And he sang, and everybody sang that same song. He grew up and he became a soldier. And he came back and got married. And there's his wife. Oh, and he has a baby boy. And guess what song he's singing to his baby boy? You're absolutely right. He's singing the same song that his mama sang to him. That song that teach people about treating each other fairly. Actually, it's not a baby boy, it's a baby girl. He had a baby girl. And the baby girl grew up. She learned the song too because he wanted to make sure that she knows how important it is to treat people right. So this little girl grows up and she was singing the song. Oh, but one day they heard the sad news about Martin Luther King because somebody didn't like his ideas of trying to be nice to people. So those people killed him. Do you remember I told you that story? And so the students were so sad because they knew that Martin Luther King had a good idea. Well, this little girl was definitely not happy, but she kept on singing the song. She tried to remember what her mama had told her. Don't forget, treat people right, no matter what color of their skin. And that little girl grew up, and guess what? She joined a protest. Can you say that? Protest. This is what a good protest looks like. She and her friends, they would just march down the street and they would hold hands to remind them we're doing this together. We're going to support each other. And their mouths would be singing. Look at their mouths open. They would sing and they may be yelling, but they're not yelling bad things. They're yelling good things. And they would carry signs that says justice for all. That means be fair. Says I have a dream. And these women, just like Martin Luther King, they wanted to change the bad laws. They want to remind people, please don't hurt the dark skin colored people because they're dark skinned. Let's treat each other right. And you know, she also grew up to have his baby. Look at this little baby. And she sang the song to her baby boy too, just like the way her mama and papa had sang the song to her. Because she wanted to make sure her kids would grow up knowing the lesson. Look at that. And so this is how the song was passed on from one person to the next, from one mommy to the baby, and from one daddy to their little boy, because they want everybody to remember, hey, if we see people not being treated nicely, just because, not because they did anything wrong, but because their skin color is dark, or because they're black or they're brown, then that's not good. That we want to remember to help each other, that no matter what color is your skin, we're going to be nice to each other. That was the whole idea of Martin Luther King. And so even though now sometimes maybe in Oakland or in the places where we live, we might see a protest or we watch it on TV. So know that those people are trying to do the same thing, trying to remember, hey, let's be nice to each other. So I hope that you guys like the story because I really like it. But I thought, wow, what the story was about is exactly what might be some of the things we see happening in Oakland and in the places where we live. But think about it. I know that you guys are real good thinkers, and I love how you guys get along at school, no matter what color the skin of each of your friends are. I'm very proud of you guys. I hope you guys will be good and stay safe, and I want to see you guys next Monday. Bye.